Okay, well, we are back. So that was probably a little quicker than 5 minutes, but I wanted to go ahead and get things going. Weather outside looks like it's going to hold and not be any major thunderstorms for at least the next hour or so. I think we do have some thunderstorms headed in later this evening, which will be certainly welcome because we haven't had much rain at all in the last several weeks. So thanks all of you for sticking out and sticking around. So we will go ahead and get started with episode number 22. So welcome to the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. And again, if you're catching this on the archive at some point in time, don't forget about the challenge, and I'll be talking about that a little bit more as well as giving you the word of the day later in this episode. So let's go ahead and get things going. And we're not going to make any changes to mods, so we'll get right into the action. And basically, as part of the challenge and the guidelines of the challenge, we basically have to start from that loading screen each time, just so that everybody keeps each other honest and everything like that. So we will start the stream like we start every stream, and pretty much end the stream like we end every stream by collecting the eggs. And also, even though we don't have to be as careful about making sure that our animals are cleaned this time of year, because obviously they're not producing wool, so it really doesn't matter if they drop below 100%, but we might as well go ahead and stay in the practice of cleaning up after our animals. And look at all the deep snow. I mean, we just have layers upon layers of snow. It's kind of even hard to see the chickens. We have so much snow. And I don't really think it would benefit us to, like plow this snow to move it around or whatever. I just really don't think that it would be in our best interest to do that. So I haven't really bothered clearing it other than this area right over here, because obviously we kind of have to pick up this snow here to then be able to reveal the grass or the food, whatever we want to call that. And so let's try this again. All right. And you do have to be careful with the seasons mod that you don't pile the snow in a location that is going to be in your way come the springtime, because it will take a little while for the snow, the places where you've piled snow, to melt. And so that's why we've kind of been dumping the snow over the fence there to kind of help us out a little bit. We kind of got to be careful here because we want to get some grass in here first. If we get some grass in there, good. Then we can come back and we can scoop up this stuff back here, because then the snow won't go in the bucket, because it's, well, it will. It made a liar out of me. Okay, grass went back in there. All right, well, thanks for enduring that with me. Cleaning up the animals with the whole snow and everything is a completely different set of complexities, but we must endure it, and we'll do just fine. So we're also, you might remember, it's only been 10 minutes ago, we topped up the water in our greenhouses. Now we need to basically top up the manure, so we need to dump this bucket. This is a mod, this manure buy point here, because we basically don't have any animals that produce manure. And so we've added this mod, and if you're interested in this mod, you can find this on my mod spreadsheet, and it does require a special bucket as well. can't seem to get connected to. There we go. And we need to dump the snow out of it. There we go. And then when we come into the manure buy point, like so, we can raise our bucket up and just set it up here and then hit the letter R on our keyboard. And it will sell us some manure. It should sell us some manure. There we go. So it's filling up with manure, and the manure costs $164. It's a small price to pay, but you know, considering that we don't have cows, we don't have pigs that produce manure, the amount of money that it would cost to raise those animals and everything is going to be a lot more than $164. We also plan to use manure as our second and third stage of fertilization. So we do have the manure mod, and if you're not familiar with the manure mod, but is basically the way it works is it will give you, when you spread manure with a manure spreader, you'll get a level of fertilization from that. And then if you come around behind that and either cultivate or plow that manure into the ground, into the soil, then you will get a level 2 fertilization out of that. So considering that we planted oilseed radish just after the fall harvest, that was our first level of fertilization. So we will then come along with manure, spread that in the spring. That'll give us our stage 2 fertilization, and then we will cultivate that in for stage 3 fertilization. And that's just how we're going to roll. I don't know how many greenhouses Farmer Klein has. He has quite a few, more than we do. Probably he's got something in the neighborhood of probably a dozen or more, I would think. So that's obviously a different strategy than what we have. I think a greenhouse will basically pay for itself after about 2 years, I think, or maybe a year and a half, something like that. So if we keep them 100%, then obviously they're going to generate about $7,000, I think, total for us out of the 4 greenhouses. And these are obviously okay to use in the challenge. They're just the regular default greenhouses. And we will go ahead and park our bucket back over here. And then we'll grab our other bucket so we don't get them mixed up, because obviously this is not a magic bucket down here to get manure. This is just our regular standard run-of-the-mill bucket, which I'm assuming that we could probably use the other bucket for, but that's okay. We've got 2 buckets. It's not going to kill us. It's not going to break us. Now here along the main farm, we do have 3 fields that we own. We have also expanded those fields out just a little bit by coming in and doing the forestry and everything, and making the area a bit wider. It's not going to do a whole lot of extra yield for us, but it will do a little bit. Let's check our maintenance there. 3 days, okay. All right, so our animals are good to go. Our greenhouses are good to go. So now we just need to get back to doing some forestry, because again, that's all that we have to do. So let's check maintenance on this. 8 days, okay. And likewise, this Mack truck mod is also on my mod spreadsheet if you are interested in having this guy. It's a nice old classy looking truck, something that you might see out there a few dozen years ago maybe. Don't know so much about today. Don't know how many of these are still out there running around, but anyway, it's a nice truck. We enjoy it. Of course, the traction on it lacks a lot to be desired, but I kind of think that would be just about anything that we chose to drive. So Nothing at fault necessarily with the truck itself. Welcome back, Doug Zorley. Thanks for coming back. I'm sure you have a lot of stuff to do, but I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with us. So we've already clear cut all these trees around here. Obviously there was quite a few that we had already done, but again, sort of in the fall and even summer months when we didn't have anything else to do, and I need to slow those trains down, don't I? We clearly had could make better time. We could move a lot faster, drive a lot faster. Everything just kind of worked a lot faster and better. Certainly didn't spend all of our time slipping around and all that kind of stuff. Hey DC, welcome back. Tango 6, hello, welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming in. So we're getting started with episode number 22 of our single player challenge here. This is the Old Guy Farmer Challenge, and you can learn more about this challenge by reading some of the information down below the video screen. And we will just park our truck there. Yeah, trying to play as realistic as possible. Obviously, I will admit that the auto-loading trailers and stuff like that kind of blow that theory out of the water. But again, it's a challenge, and there's no rules that's preventing us from using it. But I'm also trying not to drive through fields, trying not to tab through vehicles. But I will do one thing right quick. I do need to tab into these trains and slow these guys down, because otherwise that will be a nightmare for us if we don't do that. But outside of that, I'm trying to play as realistic as possible, or at least as realistic as the game allows. And I think we're going to move on down this direction here a little ways and try to find some taller trees, some areas that we have not yet cut. And, because obviously the more board feet that we can pull out of a tree, the more profitable it'll be. Some of these trees that we're cutting at 8 meters, which is the longest that we can cut with the Ponzi. When we have to cut these things like 4 times, that's obviously pretty good money that we're getting out of these trees. Yeah, I've been following your posts and everything, Doug Zorley. So I'm glad, very, very, very pleased to hear that your wife is doing much, much better. That is just awesome news. And I know that for myself, my wife, it's not been her finest year either. The last 18 months or so have been just pretty bad for her. And you know, if you're like me, you just really hate that. And I don't think we're going to be able to cut this tree. This thing is a beast at cutting, even in you know, elevations and stuff like that. But with the snow in the ground, it just does not perform like what we have been, the way we've been using it in the summer and the fall time frame. I mean, we were practically, I was practically standing this thing up on its back tires, going after tall trees that were, you know, just like 25 feet or so off the ground. You just can't do that with the snow and everything on the ground. It's just, everything is slick, everything is just kind of crazy. But yeah, no, we've been doing fine as well. I was on vacation the first part of July and was just I had to kind of take a little bit of a break from things, because I had to sort of do some stuff in advance at work to sort of be off for a while. And you know, like I said, my wife hasn't been feeling that well, and she has surgery actually on Monday. So hopefully that's going to be part of her long time recovery. I hope it's going to really help her get much, much better. And just that kind of stuff, doing stuff around the house, trying to keep everything basically alive here. Obviously it's summertime, and it's been kind of a brutal summer for us here in Colorado. We haven't had much rain at all, and the grass and everything like that's really starting to show it. Number 3, well, congratulations, DC. That's coming at the right time, right? Just before tax season for you. Being outnumbered, yeah. I couldn't convince Farmer Klein, Doug Zorley, I couldn't convince Farmer Klein that the Big M was his best way to go. He was a bit worried about the daily maintenance costs on it, because obviously they are a little more expensive than what the daily maintenance costs would be on just a tractor and a mower. But I tried convincing him that, you know, the amount of grass that he could actually mow, and also the fact that it would also automatically windrow for him, and he didn't opt to go that direction. Am I going to replant all those trees? No, not going to do it on this map. Sorry, it's not. That is not the. That would cost us money, and money, we're not going to spend money if we don't have to. And the simple fact that with the Seasons mod, it takes about 2 years before we can actually harvest trees, and it's about 5 years before they're kind of fully matured. No, we're not going to do that. We are a clear-cutting machine. We're the type of people that the environmentalists and everything warn us all about. But it's all about money. It's all about getting this timber down and converting that into money. Yeah, that's what I tried telling him, you know, and he's really, I've got to take my hat off to him, because you know, I've never really much thought about daily maintenance costs and all that kind of stuff with equipment. I play, occasionally I will play the sort of the starving farmer, or the, you know, career mode kind of thing is what I call it. But I don't always do it that way. I sort of, you know, cheat some money in and say, okay, you know, I'm going to have some fun, and we're just going to play as if we've been in business forever, and all that stuff. But and I don't necessarily look at those things. He obviously took the approach to really look long and hard at things like the maintenance costs and such. And so he's got well, at least this last cutting season, he had 2 tractors, 2 mowers. He had the big Corona rake, and then was baling and wrapping and everything. But yeah, I kind of thought that the Corona Big M would be his best bet. And even though the daily maintenance costs are what they are, I would think that he could just really go to town with that thing. And maybe he'll do that year 2. I don't know. The Big M spread function has been fixed by another modder, but apparently GTX and Giants asked him to wait for the next bug fix to release. Okay, well, that's cool to know. That would be nice to have that spread option working, especially for, you know, for hay purposes. Obviously, that wouldn't necessarily matter for Farmer Klein if he was using it for silage, but that's good to know. And Jesse Forrest or something like that. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Welcome to the channel. I appreciate you coming in. And tell you just a little, in a few minutes, I'll tell you about the giveaway that I am doing. The giveaway will be in November. And I'll be giving away 3 copies of the Giants, upcoming Giants Farm Sim 17 Platinum Expansion DLC. That's the DLC pack that includes the South American map and also sugarcane, as well as some new equipment and such. And so a lot of people are looking forward to that map and that DLC. And I'll be giving away 3 copies of it. And all you have to do to win is basically watch my episodes and get the word of the day and use the word of the day to essentially enter the contest, enter the drawing. And I'll provide the word of the day here momentarily. Yeah, I agree with Dex Orley. I am gonna wait until the GTX version is out. GTX, those guys are just awesome. Andy's an awesome guy, and obviously is a friend of us over at PCSG. And, he's had such a rough go with his mods and everything being, taken and modified and uploaded without even changing, information on it to protect the guilty. The Duck Zorley limited edition. Now that's cool. That is cool. You've certainly made a name for yourself there when somebody's making a limited edition tractor for you or machine. That's awesome. This is a nice long tree here. This should get us at least 3 or 4 cuts out of it. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. And there's number 4. And there's a bit that'll probably disappear. No, it didn't. Huh. And of course, we're not going to be able to get back up the hill. It'll be interesting to see just how deep the snow is when spring comes and all these stumps are revealed, because I'm kind of trying to cut it as low as I can to the top of the snow level. Another nice long tree here. I bet he'll do it. A little bit of both, actually. Three Dudes is, I think we've all kind of been busy. Even Eustace Farmer has been busy the last few weeks. I've been busy. Duxorley's been busy. But basically, now that things are slowing down for me, things are kind of coming together for Duxorley. I spent about an hour talking to Eustace this morning on the phone, and so things for him are kind of starting to slow down and everything. So I think that we're going to try to breathe some life into Three Dudes, and so definitely come over and check things out. But PCSG is obviously a wonderful community and very active and kind of different. I mean, I think that the sort of the missions or the goals for really for both are so much different. Obviously PCSG is going to have mods and stuff like that. Three Dudes probably won't have a lot of that. But we're a little bit closer knit family, closer community. With the goal of, really helping people. But then again, so is Three Dudes as well. So I haven't played Snetterton's yet. I'm not really going to be able to do much until I get done with this. This is obviously episode 22. There's going to be 72 episodes total, so I'm not even a third of the way through yet. So still got 50 episodes to go, but once this is done, then I will be looking at a new map because, I'm still doing Mountain Valley Farm, so I've still got a series on Mountain Valley Farm, but it's such a small map that it doesn't take a whole lot of time. I mean, 30 minutes or so of real life time, record an episode, I can get a lot done. But I'm hoping, I don't know, I'm going to have to take a few days off, and I've got to travel for work in August. I've got one trip confirmed and another possibility for another one. So I'm gonna miss a few days for maybe 2 weeks, like 3 days one week and about 3 days on another week, where I'm not going to be able to play this map and live stream it, obviously, since that's the requirement. But I'm hoping to be done with this sometime in September or early October. Would be sort of my wish, my hope, anyways, if it's possible. Gaming Challenges, welcome to the channel. Thanks for coming back in. I recognize you from a few evenings ago, a few days ago. You popped in, so welcome to the channel. Oh, really, Duxorley? Snetterton's is almost replaced Pine Cove. That's cool. That's cool to know. It looked great. I never could really get into Cherry Hills. I think it was just too big of a map, even though at one point in time I was looking kind of for a big map to play. I think it's just too darn big. And so, but I've seen a lot of the screenshots and everything from Snetterton's, and really like what I've seen. So that might be something that maybe I'll play once Mountain Valley Farm is done. And this is done, obviously. Just a big map. Cherry Hills would probably do well for multiplayer type situation if you had some guys that were really interested in that. Go after it with some fairly decent size equipment. I think that might be fun. Cool. I look forward to seeing that. And he does. Stevie, I tell you what, I mean, Stevie has not done, I don't know what his very first map was. It might be kind of interesting to actually look at that. So, well, obviously, I think it was a Farm Sim 15 map. It might have been his Westbridge Hills remake that he did. That was I enjoyed the heck out of that map. I played many hours on that map in 15, and but yeah, and you know, he's updating Pine Cove. He's doing some work on Pine Cove. I really don't know if he's going to retire or not. I mean, for a guy that announced his retirement soon after Cherry Hills was released, and then announced Snetterton as a sort of a private project that he was doing for someone, and then now he's sort of redoing and updating, I didn't mean to go up this hill, updating Pine Cove, and you know, Lord knows what else he's going to come up with. Well, Stevie's just another example of a really terrific person that gives, you know, is giving freely of his time and his talent. Clearly he is talented. He's one of the most talented modders I know. And he just does this for well, he does it for his own enjoyment. I mean, that's really how he got into modding, was he just wanted to do some mods for he and his kids, his family, and it sort of, then he sort of shared it with a few people, and then next thing you know, it sort of ballooned into this thing. And but I hope he takes it easy. You know, maybe you know, do whatever he wants to do with Pine Cove, and kind of take things easy, and maybe, you know, maybe see how things go for Farm Sim 19. I would love to if at all possible, know that he might be around for that map. I would hate to know that, you know, there's not going to be any Stevie maps for 19. Of course, we have a ways to go before that's going to be out, but actually today ended up being a pretty decent day. I think any snow that we got, I think, kind of came in the overnight hours, so it's been kind of nice. I think we'll go over here and kind of hand select a couple of these tall ones over here, and then we'll go haul some of this to the mill. Alright, let's see, we're about 35 minutes in, so I will mix things up a little bit, because normally I give the word of the day out a little bit later than this. But I will give the word of the day out. Is that a nice tall tree there? No, not so much. So the word of the day is kind of, for those of you that are, well, in North America, because Mark DuPont would qualify for understanding possibly what this is. Not so sure about Doug Zorley. But here in the U.S., obviously we have Major League Baseball. North America as well. Obviously, Toronto has a Major League Baseball team. When they have back-to-back games, they're often called a doubleheader, and so that's kind of what we did today. So the code word of the day is actually 2 words, and that is doubleheader. Is the code word of today. So if you're listening and you're wanting to enter the contest, the giveaway, make sure you are a subscriber. So go ahead and click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and then just follow the instructions down below the video, and you can email me the code word of the day, and I will enter you in the contest. And of course, the drawing for the 3 copies of the DLC will be in November. It's November the 6th. It's a Sunday. And the DLC actually does not come out until the 14th of November. Yeah, like cricket, but for Mark DuPont. Yes, like cricket, but for men. Yeah, it's very much like cricket, I suppose. That's okay. My wife doesn't. My wife obviously is from Belgium, and she doesn't get the whole baseball thing. She likes hockey because obviously they've got some pretty good hockey players over in Europe. And of course she likes soccer, or what she calls football. Of course what I call football is something completely different, but anyway. And of course she and I are both also Formula One fans. She actually introduced me to Formula One when we met. I was never much into motorsports. Like Formula One. Come on. Of course, we're a divided house because I support. Of course, So we've known each other for how long have we known each other? 18 years, 16 years. And she introduced me to Formula One during the heyday of Michael Schumacher and Ferrari, and so I just sort of gravitated to supporting Ferrari, and it was a red car, you know, and plus I like Ferraris anyway, and she's a McLaren fan, and so we do have a divided household when it comes to race weekends. And maybe Doug Zorley, were you a Mark Webber fan, Doug Zorley? Are we up? No, we're not. No, we're not going to get to that. Doug Zorley says, "Football is football. All you other pretenders need to get with it." Okay. And I guess now that Mark Webber has retired, who's the Australian driver now? Daniel Ricciardo, something like that. I think he's Australian. Yep. Okay. See, I follow it. I know what I'm talking about. Kinda. Yeah, I liked Mark Webber. I thought that he got a pretty bad deal with being paired up against Sebastian Vettel with Red Bull. I thought that there were times that Webber was actually the better driver, just because he was mature and somewhat had a bit of a level head on him. And Vettel was just kind of a little bit of a hothead and a little bit of an egomaniac kind of guy. Yeah, Mark, I kept the traffic on. I figured the other guys were doing it, so I would hold on, stop. But I like your version of football, Doug Zorley. What you call football. I like that. I like the World Cup action, and you know the U.S. team, the U.S. men's team is better the last year or two than what they've been historically. And of course they won the Gold Cup Just last night, as a matter of fact, they beat Jamaica for the World Cup, or the not the World Cup, the Gold Cup. And but they probably won't stand a chance in World Cup play. Or maybe they will, I don't know. Caddy38, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, this is our second stream for tonight, the last stream. I don't think I have it in me to do another hour, but definitely, yeah, it was on earlier. Did episode number 21 earlier, and then this one is episode number 22. There's a couple of tall trees back here we're going to go grab. Let's see. Yep, that's one right there. Up, 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 up. Hit the wrong button. Well, we'll just go ahead and cut these right here. Yeah, possibly. Of course, there again, my house is divided. Last year, during the what was the European Cup last year? What was that called? I can't remember anyway. Of course, the Americas, that was the Copa something or another. But of course, my wife is from Belgium, so she's a Belgium fan. Okay, Mark, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for staying high. I know that you got your own stuff you've got to do. And I just appreciate you coming by. Mark, I added Eustace Farmer and also Doug Zorley as moderators to kind of help out with things. Because, you know, the more you do this, the more opportunities you have to, you know, get trolls coming by that want to, you know, spam your chat or, you know, try to tell you what you're doing is stupid or whatever. And so adding those guys in, since I know them quite well, they'll hopefully be able to attend some of the live streams a little bit. All right, I think one more tree, and then we're going to go and collect some of these. Hello, Old Guy Farmer. Welcome to the stream. For those of you in the stream that haven't been around when Old Guy Farmer has popped in to say hi, Old Guy Farmer is obviously the originator of this challenge and the editor of this map, of this Goldcrest Valley edit, and he is also the map modder of Mountain Valley Farm, which has just been released as 2.0. And you can get more information about that from visiting the Old Guy Farmer Facebook group. You can get a link down below for that. Let's see, is that tree worth cutting? I think it probably is. I'll go ahead and take that one down, and then I think well, and especially when you want to try to keep things G-rated for young people, because obviously with this being summertime, you've got a lot of young kids that are up later this time of year, and you know, I just like for folks, if they want to park their kids down in front of my videos or their grandchildren or whatever, they can do that and not have to worry about any sort of bad language or bad things written on the chat. All right, so that's a pretty good day's work worth of cutting there. Again, we're just moving so much slower because of the winter. Look at all this snow, Old Guy Farmer. Have you ever seen so much snow on a map? Well, I know the answer to that question is, yes, because I did see your comment about playing around with the new seasons mod and the different layers and everything. So I know you've seen this. Let's see, we need to, well, we shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't have stopped there like that. We need to drive on up here because otherwise we're going to have to walk. Thank you, William. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you stopping by and saying hi. We'll park right here because the further we drive this thing up this way, the further back we're going to have to drive it when we go to resume logging operations tomorrow. So we'll just run the rest of the way. Can run pretty well in snow. Hi, William. I appreciate you subbing. I don't necessarily do sub for sub, just because that's not really the way that it works. You probably should refrain from popping into people's streams and advertising your own channel. I appreciate the fact that you have subbed for me. If you like what you see, that's obviously a good thing for you to do, but to encourage others to go and sub to your channel, that's kind of taboo. It's kind of frowned upon. And maybe you didn't know that, but hopefully you do now. Excuse me. Lots of snow. Lots of snow. Lots of snow covering up logs. Oh, there's a log right down there we'll try to get. I have a feeling that we're going to drive through here in the spring and in the and maybe in the summer, and we're going to see all sorts of logs laying off on the side of the road that have just been covered in snow. Of course, that'll be a little bit of extra money, bonus money. Of course, we will have to take the time to come and gather it. Let's see, what did okay, thanks for helping out these gaming challenges. You mentioned this a couple of days ago when you were in the stream, gaming challenges, and many of us had questions for you as to where you had obtained the seasons mod. If you're still having that issue of not being able to get the maintenance window to come up, the question that we asked you is still a valid question. Where you got the seasons mod from, because if you didn't get that from the Giants mod hub, then you probably have a version of seasons that is not the official version, and it may not work correctly, or it may not work at all. And so you should probably double check that and make sure that you actually got that version of seasons from the mod hub itself. And there is a new version out now. Obviously, it's probably it came out, I think, 2 days ago, so you might want to check that out. Oops, wrong side. Stop, 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 stop. There we go. I love that cash register sound. The sound of money. This is a great version of the map. I swore I'd never play another Goldcrest Valley edit, and of course the challenge lured me back, but this is a really nice edit of this map. Those Burlington Northern Santa Fe trains, those things are bright orange. I think whoever made that skin got their paint swatch a little bit wrong. Up, come on, stay on the road. No off-roading tonight. I guess you're not going to jump in there. There you go, thank you. Sometimes they cooperate. And sometimes they don't. Those probably won't. Yep, I've been skidding all over the place. I don't know how many layers of snow I have here, Jerry, but I've definitely got a lot more than what I saw on Farmer Klein's first winter, and definitely more than I think I saw in your first winter. So I guess somehow or another, whenever we were told to draw straws, I guess I just got the really short straw. Because there's just so much snow and it's just so slick. It doesn't seem to be as slick as it was during yesterday's stream. That would have been like episode number 20, I think it was. It was just, I couldn't drive at all almost. It was just terrible. This is one big stack of logs. We're going to have to take this nice and slow. Let's see, what version do you have? Yeah, California driver. Yeah, some folks were saying last night that considering that I'm from Colorado that I should know how to drive in this stuff, and that would be a very true statement if Farm Sim 17 had a little bit more realistic game physics, ground physics and stuff. And I like to think that this is in Colorado, that's where Goldcrest Valley kind of is situated. And CDOT, the California Department of Transportation, must be sleeping because they haven't got out and plowed these roads or sanded these bridges. But it just adds a little bit more, of a challenge, complexity. And I'm sure that, I'm hoping that next winter won't be quite as brutal for us. We had a really wet fall as well, and we had a tough winter. So hopefully some of the other participants, like Farmer Klein and old guy Farmer, and some of those guys will get some of the more challenging winters. Yeah, it blows around here as well. That's right, Caddy. You're from Colorado. You're east of Colorado Springs. That's right. I remember you from the other night. then I'm sure you know exactly how sometimes it takes CDOT a little while to get out there and get the roads plowed. County roads, that's right. Yeah, of course they're gonna take care of I-25 and the bigger roads first, and then leave the little county roads for whenever they can kind of get around to it. It's funny because I live in the city and county of Denver, and I live right at the edge of Greenwood Village, and you can tell Greenwood Village, not only do they have nice paved streets without a lot of potholes and everything, but you can tell that anytime that the weather is forecasted to be snow, they'll have their trucks out spraying mag chloride on the roads. In Denver, you won't see a truck from the city and county of Denver at all. And then of course you can certainly tell it when it does snow. Then obviously the areas that were in Greenwood Village will be nice and somewhat clear, and of course their snow plows will come along and clear those roads. City and county of Denver, nowhere to be seen. And finally they'll come out and plow. It's our taxpayer dollars at work. Yeah, I think they do that in Kansas as well, because I got stuck in Kansas one night. We were coming back from visiting my parents in Texas, and I tried to drive various different directions to see which was faster, and that was just the time that I decided to do I-35 up to I-70 and come across Kansas into eastern Colorado. And we got stuck out in eastern Kansas, and had to spend the night in pretty much a flea pit motel. Should have just slept in the car. If I had it to do over again, that's what I would do. And yeah, Kansas pretty much waits until the storm's over, and then they come out and play around in the snow for a little bit and try to clear the roads. And all right, Mark, our old guy farmer, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my eyes here on the road and try to keep from spilling this truck. I wonder if we might lose a layer of snow tomorrow, if that forecast is true, as far as it's showing sunshine like that and a high of 36. I wonder if they sort of factored that in. But then again, we've got snow for the last day of winter, so that'll certainly seal us in, probably seal our fields and everything with snow for at least the first full game day of spring. But that's okay. We've got one layer of fertilization already down. We're going to do manure with the manure mod. That'll give us two fertilization layers right there once we cultivate the manure in. And that's a little bit different. Haven't done that before. And sort of thought that might be nice to do here on the challenge. get some nice 1,570 for one of those pieces of wood. That's not bad. I'd like to have a trailer full of those. Some of those pieces we'll just have to get in the springtime because I don't think we can drive up that hill with the snow the way it is. Let's see, is there a road? I think there's a road through here somewhere. Right up here maybe. It's really hard to tell. So did you get it working, gaming challenges? Make sure we're on the right side. We are. There we go. Come on, one more piece and then we'll switch sides and grab that other one. That's fine. It can go over there if it wants to. Those can also fall off. We'll just switch sides and load them right back up. Alright, well we'll haul this in, sell this load of logs, and then try to get back to the main farm before midnight so that we don't have to pull an all-nighter. I can't pull an all-nighter. I can't do a double header and have part of that be an all-nighter. That's an extra 30 minutes or so. I need to get upstairs, get ready for spend a little bit of time with the wife, maybe watch some TV. And then I've got a busy Friday tomorrow in the office. Don't know if I'll stream tomorrow evening, but I will most likely do 2 episodes or do another doubleheader on Saturday morning. So I normally do 2 episodes on Saturday morning. Any chance of going back to Pine Cove since Stevie updated it to Seasons Ready? For what? For a Let's Play series? Okay, F1, left side, that's where we want. and X. Alright, Gaming Challenges, good night. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you get your season stuff worked out. If you don't, stop back by again the next time you see me stream, and we'll try to help you some. Oops. There's a road that we needed to turn on. Come on, old Mac. It's a possibility. I want to kind of because the Let's Play series that I did on Pine Cove, that was his final version. Well, supposedly it was his final version. I've learned this about Stevie, that he is a perfectionist, and he will tweak and work on something until he gets it just right. So he made an announcement. This was back in maybe February or March, I can't remember now for sure, but he made an announcement that this version of Pine Cove Farm was the final version. I'm like, okay, I can start playing it now. So I downloaded it, installed it, started a Let's Play series on it, and I wasn't more than probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 episodes in, and I see on his Facebook page that he was updating it again. And I never took that update. I just decided to basically sort of just not do the update. And so there's a lot of stuff that was part of the update that I did not take, or I did not get to experience. So that might be a possibility. I also want to look at Snetterton, because I do try to play every map that Stevie creates, just because he does such a fantastic job. And I genuinely feel bad because Stevie, if you've played Cherry Hills, you might notice that one of the sell points is named Jerry's something or another. I can't remember what it is. He basically named that after me, and I feel really bad because I've not played it, and I went way off road that time. Anyway, I did not play it, and I feel kind of bad, but it's just such a big map. It's got massive fields, and we're not gonna spin out this time. I'm gonna slow things down and try not to spin out on this road. So yeah, but I'll consider that. I like Pine Cove Farm. Alrighty, easing back into the main farm here. It's just coming up on 11 p.m. and we will have just enough time to perhaps clean up the sheep and collect our eggs and call it a day. All right, JP Gaming, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate that. Yeah, and I think he's still working on something. I think I just read his Facebook post that he made today. I think it was today, or it might have been yesterday. So I'm not really going to be able to do anything as far as changing, starting a new map or anything until this is done. So I'm going to be doing Mountain Valley Farm and obviously this challenge. And then if I finish Mountain Valley Farm, which I am probably only going to play 1 year on that, even though I've sort of talked about maybe doing 2, but I think I'll just do 1 on that map, then I'll entertain something else. And it might be that, because I didn't get a chance to finish Pine Cove Farm. The performance got really bad. If you were watching my channel back then, the performance got really bad after the Giants update. and I had some issues with seasons. So it would actually be kind of fun, I think, to basically just start all over with Pine Cove and sort of play it the way that I was planning on playing Pine Cove with, kind of some big equipment and stuff like that. All right, so let's just pull up the escape menu. We're going to head and do a quick save, and then I'm going to scan through things here. So we sold $111,000 worth of logs today. I'm really surprised that we went over 100,000 because of the fact that we can't drive very fast. But that's very cool. And I just want to take a look at our log count. 625 logs or trees that we've cut down since we've been on this map. That's a lot. That's a lot. So probably my Farm Sim 17 tree numbers is around 925 trees, 40 today. So that's cool. All right, so I'm going to save one more time, and then I'm going to do Alt-N to skip night. And we will come up, and it will be around 6 o'clock in the morning, and I will save, and then I am going to quit. So thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. That kind of helps make the time go by. I wanted to do the double header, the 2 episodes tonight, to try to get us through winter as soon as possible. So we've got 2 more episodes of winter time, and then we'll see how quickly the snow melts in the spring, and then of course get back to some traditional farming stuff in the spring. So thank you all for hanging out with me. I do appreciate that. Have a wonderful, wonderful Friday, and God bless you all. Take care of each other, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.